Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear viewers, welcome back to the studio from where we are broadcasting the live 57th annual convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, which is the Jalsa Salana UK. When we talk of Jalsa Salana, viewers who are new to it may be wondering what it is all about. Why have people from all walks of life come to converge for this Jalsa Salana? I have various guests, distinguished guests with me in the studio to take us through what the Jalsa is and for which purpose the Jalsa was started. I have with me Mr. Khalil Sahib from the UK and Mr. Ode Sahib also from Kababir, and also obviously not a new face on MT Africa, Jahangir Saab. You're welcome to the studio.
Okay.
Going straight to the program, Mr. Khalil Saab, I would want to start with the Jamaat as well. Just briefly tell us what the Jamaat stands for, this community, what is it about?
First of all, I want to give my salam to all of the brothers and sisters in Africa and everywhere else in the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is a beautiful Jamaat whose sole purpose is to unite mankind under the banner of Allah Ta'ala. The Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had prophesied that there would be a Messiah that would come in the latter days at a time when Muslims would drift away from Islam. And at that time, the Messiah would come and his purpose would be to rejuvenate people and to revive Islam and to bring people back to that true peaceful message, to fulfill the rights of God, but also fulfill the rights of our creation.
MashaAllah, I think that is very well answered. And talking about rejuvenation, I think those of us who participate in the Jalsa obviously get rejuvenated. So when we talk of Jalsa, what actually does it stand for?
I think stands Assalamu alaikum also to our African viewers, and talks about Jalsa and the purpose of Jalsa. I think one of the major thing about Jalsa is the unity that we see around us today, that we're all united. People come from all around the world to get together under the flag of Khilafat and to see and meet Huzur Anwar. And I think that's one of the purpose of Jalsa, that we get together and to see the unity of the Ahmadis and the Ahmadi Muslims around the world come together in one place and have this spiritual atmosphere. And as a person who come from Middle East to see, I think it's heaven we're having in this place.
MashaAllah. Jahangir Shah, coming straight to you, yes, indeed, he has mentioned the purpose, which is of spiritual essence, also to increase the brotherhood, and as you can see, people from different races having to sit here in the studio and discuss the purpose. But when we talk of the activities of the Jalsa, what are those activities that actually resonate with the purpose of the Jalsa?
Yes, so the purposes of the Jalsa, first of all, if I could say, and say Assalamu alaikum to all the viewers in Africa who are watching us as well. Thank you for having us here with you. We have, first of all, the aim is to increase our knowledge of religion, to increase our spirituality, to meet new brothers and sisters who are here for the first time, so we can meet them, and that's to increase the unity among us and among different ethnicities, different nationalities, etc. But also to remember those brothers and sisters who have passed on during the previous year. So we can also remember them and pray for them together, Yeah. But the activities, how do they reflect that? Well, first of all, we're all here to listen to our beloved Huzur, who's the Khalifa of the time. He's the Khalifa of the Messiah whom Khalid Saab was talking about just now, who'd been sent to bring back the true pristine Islam of the beginning in this time where Muslims are separated, disunited, and have moved away from the true teachings. So we've come to listen to him. But there are also, I'm in translation, so there are, this year I've been told 72 translators who are translating in at least 18 languages live,
MashaAllah.
And a few other languages which will be played later. To transmit the words of the Caliph of the time to the rest of the world in their own languages,
Yes.
And so we have that. Plus we have other speeches presented by other speakers, very eminent speakers, and they will be touching upon different topics which have to do with spiritual growth, which have to do with peace in the world, and all these things which humanity really needs now.
MashaAllah, that is the point that I wanted to go to actually. We see that the organization is on a very grand scale with all these translators coming in, the live broadcast, His Holiness, his highlight addresses, and everything that is going on with the thousands of people that are coming in. I want to throw this on the table. You can pick it up one after the other. But why is such a convention needed at this time and age? There are so many other conferences and conventions that go on in the world, but this particular one, what is the need for it at this time?
I think, first of all, this is not a regular gathering. As Imam Messiah said, it's ordered by God, and that's, I think, that's the essence of this gathering. It has a blessed and a godly gathering. That's one of the key thing about this gathering, about the Jalsa Salana that we have. And as we see that from that way, we can see about how the blessing we get as the people who attend these Jalsas. And we're going around, I said again to say that people come from all around to meet and to get together. I think that's what the essence of this kind of a godly meeting. It's not as ordinary, people gather together. There's something beyond that.
Yes, mashallah. You want to add something up to it, Mr. Khalifa?
I mean, it's just, even though we're sitting here as speakers, it's a profoundly deep experience for us as well when we come to Jalsa Salana, because when you go into the outside world and you switch on the news or you pick up a newspaper, all you see is conflict, all you see is disorder, all you see is selfishness. And when you come into an environment like this, into a site like this, at which we're expecting more than 40,000 people, and you see police officers not in riot gear and with shields trying to control the attendees, but actually eating food with us and having tea and enjoying the environment, you realize that the environment here is very, very special. It's very different to any other event that you might ever see, and you find people from young to old. My son is 10 years old. He's doing his first duty now. He's wearing his badge with pride. He is being involved in improving his spirituality as a 10-year-old with another 10-year-old who might become another a life bond, might have a lifelong bond with that other tifl. And this is how the Jamaat progresses. It progresses under the banner of Khilafat. It progresses into the unity of Allah. And this is something that is so desperately needed in the outside world. So this is very far from an ordinary gathering. I mean, it is a profound impact on everybody who attends here.
MashaAllah.
Basically, we're showing the world we're giving them an alternative lifestyle. That there is a different way to be. Just like you were saying, when you look outside, so much turmoil and so many problems and so much violence and hatred, whereas we're showing people that, the problems even between different, intergenerational problems, that look how we're all functioning. Men, women, children, they're all functioning, in tandem and with harmony.
Yeah.
But also different ethnicities, that we can all live together. We don't have to be fighting and hating each other all the time, There is a different way to be. And also an intensely spiritual and moral, paradise. Really, I have to say it. It's a spiritual and moral paradise. And when people come here, I mean, we're sitting here telling you about this. We've been in many jalsas in the past. But people who come here for the first time, and I remember there was one a minister from one of the, I think it was an African country actually, who had come for the very first time. It was just a few years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. And when he went to meet our Khalifa, may Allah be his helper, Hazur asked him, how did you, find the Jalsa? He said, it shouldn't be only for 3 days. I think you should organize this for 30 days. So Hazur said, do you realize what kind of, preparations this takes? What kind, how much effort it takes to organize it even for 3 days? But he said that was the impression of that person, that it just go on and on and on. And that man said, I could easily be with you for those 30 days.
Yeah,
he said, I was enjoying the whole thing, It's such a different experience.
MashaAllah, I think it's also interreligious. You talked about inter-ethnicity,
yes,
and also inter-age or whatever it is. And we have guests who are actually not Ahmadis, but they also come here and enjoy the brotherhood, the unity that binds us together. And I think that is all about Khilafat, and that is what binds us together actually. That's all time will allow us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.